welcome back. So today's video is going to be a review and demo of the Stila Stay All Day Foundation. I bought mine in the shade Light. So I have it on already and I'm going to get to the demo right now. Just wanted to point out a few, what I have on underneath the foundation is the Stila Aqua Glow Perfecting Foundation, Stila Aqua Glow Perfecting Primer, and I just applied that from the stick to my face before I did the foundation. So also I point out that everything on my face aside from like one eyeshadow is matte on my face, so that if you see any oil throughout this video or shine or anything, that is my skin or the foundation, not highlighter or anything shimmery like that. Okay, so this foundation, it comes in a box like this, Stila, and there are many shades. I bought the shade Light because the first time I tried it in the store, I tried on the shade Hue, H-U-E, and it was so dark and it oxidized so badly that when I got home, I had a spot. I didn't buy it that time. I had a spot on my hand that was like orange, bright orange, like did not even look close to my skin. So when I went online, I went down a few shades, like in the spectrum, got a really light shade. So Light, I believe, is the second shade. There's only one shade below it and it's called Fair. It doesn't say whether it's warm or cool undertones. I can tell you it leans a little warm. So I just took a little dot on my finger and I'm going to put that on my clean hand so that while we talk, you guys can see that this foundation oxidizes. It gets a little bit darker. So right now, you could probably tell, not a whole lot of discoloration or color mismatch. It's pretty good match to my skin tone. But I'm going to show you throughout this video as I talk, it's going to get darker and darker. But I don't think the light shade is unwearable. I think that I can still pull it off, especially in different times of the year. I think that as I get darker in the summertime and stuff, I will be able to pull off the shade that's called Light. But if you have very, very fair skin, you might have trouble finding your shade in the foundation. Let's go ahead and get into the demo so you guys can see how it applies and how it looks right after application. I did an under eye corrector in the Bobbi Brown Peach. So that is going to cover up some of my dark circles that I had going on. And now for the foundation. So again, I have Stila Stay All Day Foundation in the shade Light. To apply it, I'm going to use my Sigma F80 Flat Kabuki. This is my preferred method of applying foundation. I do have beauty blenders. I do have other methods, but I prefer this method. So I'm just applying a few dots. I'm going to do one half of the face at a time to make sure that I blend it in. So I didn't do too much, and then I'm going to use my flat kabuki brush and blend it in. This side definitely looks better than this side without foundation. I'm going to do another couple dots here on this side of my face. So I would call that medium coverage. I can still see things through it, but it definitely covered. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other half of my face. Okay, so that is about 2 passes on each side of my face. It does okay. I'm going to zoom you in so you can see the acne that's still showing through. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of my face and then I will be right back. Alright, I just finished the rest of my makeup. So it is now 9:05 in the morning. I'm going to come back throughout the day and we'll see how it's holding up. I did want to point out that on my face I am not wearing any highlighter. My bronzer and blush are matte, so that any sheen you see in my face is my natural oils shining through. I did not set my face with any powder except the under eyes. I used the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea concealer, and then I just did a triangle under my eyes, and then I just set it with the NYX finishing powder. Only under the eyes. I didn't set any other powder. I'm not going to use the setting spray. I want to see how this foundation holds up on its own. Alright, so this is how the foundation looks once all my makeup is on. And I just want to talk a little bit about the packaging. So the packaging is this bottle here, and it has a cap, and it's a pump, but it's kind of an interesting pump. If you are a neat freak, a clean freak when it comes to your makeup, if you like everything to be clean all the time and sanitary and everything, I'm not sure you're going to like this foundation packaging. The foundation itself may be wonderful for you, but the packaging is something that I'm going to have to get used to. So it's not really a squeezy tube. It's not where you pour it out, nothing comes out. It's not where you squeeze it. It's a pump, but it's not the kind that you do this with your finger. It's kind of like you press on both sides of this top, and then product comes out the hole in the center. So in theory, you would think, okay, that's great, except like you never get the top completely clean, and you end up either putting your finger on there or your brush or your beauty blender right onto the packaging. So it kind of, I already used it today, and I want you to see like there's product remaining. And so I also don't like the packaging because then my hand is dirty and I get those fingerprints all over the bottle, and you can't control how much product, you can't control how much product comes out. So you think you're doing okay, you press it, you just kind of go lightly and just like really slowly, you know, press the button. Tried really quickly pressing the button, and you get a lot of product. Maybe it's not too much for you, maybe it's the perfect amount, but I don't like that. Like sometimes I've done one pass at my face and I just want a little bit more to get the areas that have a little bit more discoloration to cover, and I'll try to press it to get a little bit more, and I get a lot more. Just something to think about. Okay, so remember when I applied the swatch to my hand, it's been a couple minutes now. Do you see how it's orange? How this area is dark on my hand? It definitely oxidizes at least a shade or two. Now that doesn't mean that I can't wear it, doesn't mean I won't wear it. I have it on my face, I think it looks okay. But I feel like if you're inexperienced with makeup and you go a little bit dark anyway in your foundation, you might regret buying a shade that matches you when you're in the store or when you swatch it on your hand initially. Then you get it home, you put it on, and then you're like, whoa, why do I look like an Oompa Loompa? That's why. So like I said, the other thing with the packaging is messy is that when you close the lid again, I haven't cleaned this, right? I just used my brush, grabbed whatever I wanted. When you close it, the inside of the cap gets kind of dirty. And so that's unfortunate. And you have to buy the shade a little bit lighter than you think you need. So it's about 9:15 now. I'm going to go ahead and come back throughout the day and show you how the foundation's holding up. But I just wanted to point out the packaging flaws. To me, that's very annoying. I'm not a neat freak when it comes to my foundation, and I would tolerate lousy packaging if the product was amazing. So let's go ahead and see how it holds up throughout the day. Alright guys, it's been about 5 or 6 hours now. This foundation has a texture. I'm going to get a little closer for you, but I can see it caking up around my acne, and I don't look shiny. I did not do any touch-ups whatsoever, not even like my lipstick or anything. So I'm going to show you up close. To me, I can still see things through it. My nose looks really like cakey. You see right here? And just a tiny bit of sheen on my face. I do have normal to probably about normal skin these days. Well, I did want to mention this foundation does come in 10 shades. There's fair and then light, and that light is the shade I got. And this is medium to full coverage in a matte finish, and it is $40 at Sephora. Okay, so I'm going to check back in a little bit, but like I said, it's been about 5 or 6 hours. So far, I'm not like super impressed, but it's not breaking down horribly. I've definitely seen worse, I've definitely seen better, but I'll be back in a little bit. Guys, it has been about 12 hours. I know, I should have come back sooner. I think the foundation held up really well. As you can tell, I'm not super shiny. I have to say, my blush lasted very well on top of this foundation. Here I am 12 hours later. You can still see my bronzer and blush. That I like. So I'm going to zoom you in so you guys can see my face in detail for how the foundation is clinging. Just remember that I have a lot of acne. I'm pregnant and my hormonal acne is out of control. So if you don't have all these dry patches, it didn't cling too badly. I'll show you around my nose, it's breaking down, but that's to be expected after 12 hours. See what I mean? My blush is still going strong. Look at it breaking down around my nose. Okay, so some overall thoughts, just to sum this up pretty quickly. Packaging, not so good. Some people might like the pump thing. I personally think it's messy and doesn't allow you control of how much you get. It oxidizes, so the color is going to be darker than you think. It ended up working out for me, even though it oxidized on my hand and turned like orange. I don't know why I'm gesturing, you can't see it. Even though it turned orange on my hand, I think I could still pull off the color. It still looks okay. Coverage was medium to full, and I would say it was matte finished because I am not glowing too much after that long. I'm normal skin. I tend to get a little bit oily in my forehead and my nose area, and then my chin because the acne is very dry. I'm all over the map. So I'm going to say normal combo maybe, but yeah, I have moments where I don't have as much acne. It's just the hormonal stuff from being pregnant that affects me. Price point $40 I think is very good. It is 1 ounce, in case I forgot to mention that. $40 is a fair price for a high-end foundation that you would find at some place like Sephora. I think that the wear time is pretty good. At about 10 hours, it still looked pretty decent. That means I could get through my work day and my commute, and it still would have held up okay. So that's good to know. Coverage is medium to full. I think you'll like it if you have normal skin, probably even oily skin. I'm not sure how much you'll like it for dry skin, just because of what happened on my acne that is drier. It definitely clings, and the dry areas around my nose, it definitely clings. I wouldn't even say that it was oil breaking it down. I think it just clings to dry patches, but I'm not sure. I would say that the claims about a long wear, high definition, full coverage with a matte finish, I think that's probably about right. Full coverage, I'm not sure about 100% full coverage because I could still see my spots through it originally, but blendable formula helps even skin tone and minimize the appearance of pores, fine lines, and wrinkles. Maybe, I don't know. Innovative oxygenating formula with botanical extracts and antioxidants promotes healthy looking skin, oil-free and fragrance-free. It does say wipe excess off with tissue after use. So they do admit that you're going to have to clean the product. So I don't like that. I would rather have a standard pump that you do this with that, you know, it doesn't have to be cleaned off. It's sanitary all the time. So that is it for my review. I hope you guys found this video helpful, and let me know if there's any other products you want to see me review or test out. Thanks for watching. Bye.